All right, let's talk about Jalen Hurts and the Eagles here, who, the narrative keeps going a little bit with the Eagles of, oh, is Jalen Hurts still the guy? Are they too A.J. Brown dependent? All of that stuff, despite the fact that they won the game. But obviously, playing Cleveland, you want to win by more than 4, and while there was a blocked field goal touchdown that kind of makes it a little bit closer than what the game might have been, still, I can understand why there is still some questions. So I wanted to dive into the film and, look at it myself. How good is Jalen Hurts? How good did he play in this game? Are they too A.J. Brown dependent? Well, they're certainly depending on A.J. Brown. No denying that. Pretty much every time they saw this situation, A.J. Brown with a one-on-one shot down the field, they're going to throw it to him. Watch as Hurts takes the snap. He looks in Brown's direction, fires in this direction, but this time it's pretty good coverage. So, okay, again, for Hurts, he's just giving his best player a chance. That's all he's thinking about doing here. And this time it doesn't work out. And I guess you could sit here and say, well, that's the issue, isn't it, with this kind of thing of if you're so dependent on A.J. Brown hitting those deep shots, how consistently is he going to be able to hit on them? Well, going over here, the answer is pretty consistently. He can hit on these pretty frequently. This one is going to be a deep shot on a 3rd down and 7. Again, 3rd down and 7. So, you could be trying to not throw the ball down the field, but Hurts still likes these types of situations. Watch him take the snap. He is going to look in Brown's direction, and this isn't open. This is wide open, right? There is just a ton of separation right here. Honestly, Hurts' throw is a touch behind, but not too bad that it can't be caught. A.J. Brown, again, knows how to adjust to the ball so well. That's one of his real underrated aspects, I think. Everyone talks about how he can go up and make the grab, but he just sees the ball in the air so well, and part of that just has to be chemistry with him and Hurts, right? Because, again, say what you want about A.J. Brown, he wasn't this good at these types of things in Tennessee. He could do it, for sure, but it's been even better with the Eagles, so you have to give Hurts some credit for these plays, I think. This play was another one, and a big one, as it's kind of a crazy route. Again, this just goes to show how much they trust Brown on these types of plays, where it's going to be a 2nd down and 11 situation. The Browns have 1 timeout left, and there's 2 minutes left. So throwing an incompletion is a very much thing you don't want to do, right? You throw an incompletion, that's giving the Browns 40 extra seconds. That's a big deal if you cannot complete it. But you know what? One-on-one for A.J. Brown, why not give him a chance? As you see, Hurts takes the snap. He's going to look in Brown's direction and, again, fires it up. And, again, you look at it, and it's not like, oh, this is wide open. You have to make the throw. This is simply just A.J. Brown, having the confidence in Hurts having the confidence in A.J. Brown, trusting his guy. And as you see, it works out. They get the completion. And again, all they needed was 11 yards. They got 40, but they would have been just as good if they got 11. But this type of play, they feel like it's a high percentage play. They're trusting the A.J. Brown go route as though it's a screen pass or something. Like, that's just how much faith they have in it. And of course, Brown can win in other ways too, like this one. So it's going to be a quick slant route right here to A.J. Brown in a one-on-one matchup. Hurts is going to take the snap, looks in Brown's direction right here. You see the corner for Cleveland. Again, you could sit here. I've criticized Cleveland a bit for too often do they go one-on-one against the other team's best player, like against the Giants. Like Malik Neighbors was one-on-one basically all game. Now they're doing it here. It's what they like to do. I get it, and it does have some success. They were able to slow the Eagles' offense down at times in this game. However, here, this is, really well-thrown ball by Hurts, but also look at that move from Brown. Again, picks up the 1st down before finally going down. So being able to make those types of plays and make those types of plays consistently is what you like to see. And again, something like this too, it's, again, a one-on-one A.J. Brown route. You see it's zone coverage this time, but still what's going to essentially be a one-on-one matchup with his route getting into a gap in coverage. You see how Hurts takes a snap. Corner has to make sure he doesn't get beat deep, especially when you're playing A.J. Brown. But because of that, you're just giving up so much space off of him. You don't want to give up the easy 8-yard completion either. However, that's what happens. Really well-timed ball there by Hurts, and then Brown breaks another tackle, picks up the 1st down. So again, getting a guy of this caliber back just means so much to this offense. And it's worth mentioning, I know you look at the final score and say only 20 points. Well, they only had 10 possessions. 2 of those possessions were the end of the half. One was just a kneel down at the end of the half after the blocked field goal. And then they had a possession that they kneeled it out in field goal range, at the end of the game. So really, it's only 8 possessions, 20 points on 8 possessions. that's actually really good. Like you'll take that. That's 2.5 points per possession. So sometimes it's not necessarily about just raw points, but points per possession, and they did a very good job here. Of course, it wasn't just A.J. Brown. They were able to have plays like this. Again, it was a lot of A.J. Brown, don't get me wrong, but they were able to have other things, work. And I think part of it, too, is if you can get more attention on A.J. Brown, it opens up the door to try other stuff. Here, they're going to just go with just a kind of pick play right here to Devonta Smith, who's still a very good player. And when you can get him on some number 2 corners, that can make things even better. Watch as Hurts takes the snap. He looks in Smith's direction, is going to fire in Smith's direction. So already so good, right? Smith should be able to get open, should be able to gain some yards right here. But Hurts puts this one right on the money to where Smith can run after making the catch, and there's just nobody there for Cleveland. What happened here for Cleveland? Well, the safety was cheating over towards A.J. Brown, which makes sense, right? He's really good and keeps burning you down the field. Can't let that happen, but because of this, you now had no one on, to be able to make a kind of a recovery tackle and not allow a touchdown on Smith. Because of that, they get the touchdown. So, yeah, good stuff here. So, yeah, and listen, that's just one example. There were plenty of other examples as well of, other things going well. It was not all A.J. Brown, but, A.J. Brown's a very good player, and they run their offense through A.J. Brown. And part of what I feel like as well is it's not just that A.J. Brown is so good that he does it all himself. I think part of it too is a bit of, I think they kind of lack some receiver depth. Obviously, Devonta Smith is very good as well, but it's something I've kind of harped on with the Eagles for a while, is they're not really a team built for injuries in that department as well. So it's kind of both. It's you have A.J. Brown, who is a superstar level receiver, but also when you lose him, you're not necessarily replacing him. Again, Devonta Smith is very good, but the new, he's already on the field, right? Whoever you're putting now on the field, sometimes, like Johnny Wilson, okay, listen, a fine depth piece perhaps, but maybe not someone you want to be a starter. Now he has to be one, or at least get a decent amount of snaps because of A.J. Brown going down. But also, again, now teams are going to have to start doubling A.J. Brown. It opens up more stuff for maybe Johnny Wilson does get open, right? Maybe they do get more underneath, that kind of stuff. So at the end of the day, most teams look worse when their star quarterback, when their star receiver isn't out there, and look better once he gets out there. That's not a Eagles-specific thing, and so as long as he can stay healthy, which he has had his injuries over his career, but as long as he can stay healthy, this Eagles offense has performed pretty well. Even last year performed really well before A.J. Brown went down. It's performed well when he's been here, and even when he's been out, they've still had their moments. So, yeah, that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.